Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to another one of my video recipes. In this one I'll show you how to make our beautiful and delicious upside down pineapple cake. It looks very impressive, but it's actually very easy to make. And I'll be using our no-fail sponge cake mix, guaranteed to rise and not sink in the middle. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website, and the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. Okay, start by draining the juice from a 450 gram or 16 ounce can of pineapple slices. Set the juice aside for now because we'll need that later on. Try to dry out the pineapple rings even more by placing the slices on kitchen paper. Apart from one, cut all of the slices in half. Cover them with the kitchen paper and set them aside for now. Have your baking dish or cake tin ready, and this is the one that I'm using, and the dish dimensions are on screen. Right, over to the stove. Heat up a small frying pan on a medium heat. Once hot, add the butter to the pan. Now you can add your soft light brown sugar. All you have to do is gently heat the sugar and the butter together until they've both melted. Don't get the pan too hot. Keep stirring them together. Once they're both melted, get them off the heat. Okay, pour the mixture into your baking dish. Now the butter and the sugar will separate from each other. Just spread the darker sugar out as best you can. Now arrange your pineapple slices as shown, or design your own pattern. And that's the finished sunburst pattern that I use. Once you're happy with it, it's very important that you get it into the fridge to set. Don't try and add your cake batter while it's still runny like this. It only takes about 20 minutes to set in the fridge. Right, on to making this no-fail cake sponge mix. First, crack the eggs into a bowl. Add the oil followed by the vanilla extract. I'm using sunflower oil, but any neutral tasting cooking oil like vegetable oil, canola oil is okay too. And it's using oil instead of butter that makes this sponge recipe so reliable. Now give that a good whisk until the mixture is light and airy. And a very quick mention to the channel's Patreon, PayPal and Super Thanks supporters. I'll do the name splash and shout out a little later in the video. Now sift in the dry ingredients. Now I'm using self-raising flour, which contains some baking powder, but it does need another teaspoon of baking powder. Now, like the caption says, if you're using plain or all-purpose flour, you need to add an extra 2 teaspoons of baking powder to this recipe, making a total of 3 teaspoons. And in goes the caster sugar. And that's my 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And finally the salt. And if there's any lumps left in the sieve, just push them through with your fingers. Right, once your dry ingredients are sifted in, use your spatula and fold it all together. Keep folding until you have a smooth cake batter. That's it, your simple no-fail smooth cake batter is done. And how easy was that? Before going any further, preheat your oven to 170 degrees Celsius, that's 340 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 3. Now get your dish with the pineapple rings from the fridge. And as you can see, the mixture has set, and that only took about 15 minutes. Before you add the cake batter, rub a little butter around the rim of the dish, and that'll help release the cake when you turn it upside down. Now carefully, using your spatula again, scrape the cake batter into the middle of the dish. And if your measurements were correct at the beginning, it will slowly flow and find its own level. Now give the dish a few taps on the bench to lift any of the larger air bubbles. And that's it, it's ready to bake. Now get it into your preheated oven. Once in, set your timer for 30 minutes. And while that's baking, I hope you don't mind if I give my 4 recipe books a quick shout out. The books have lots of our favourite recipes from our work kitchens in them, and also book 4 in this series is totally dedicated to bread recipes. The skeleton style oven gloves, now supporting our company name, are also available too. Just check out the link in the description box to our website store if you're interested in any of these items. Okay, time's up on the cake. Let's see how we did. First job is to check the cake with a cocktail stick. If it comes out clean, it's done. If it still has some batter on the stick, give it a few more minutes. But mine's done and it's ready to come out. And it's looking wonderful, well risen and an absolutely gorgeous aroma. Get it onto a wire rack and let it settle for 10 minutes. Time to make up the glaze. Add about 50 ml of the pineapple juice from the can into a container. Add 2 teaspoons of sugar and give it a good mix until the sugar is completely dissolved. Now set it aside for now. Right, it's been about 10 minutes now since it came out of the oven. It's still quite hot, but it's time to turn it out. My sponge has pulled away from the sides of the dish, but if yours hasn't, just run a thin bladed knife around the edge of the dish. Now place your serving plate on top of the dish. Now confidently turn it over. Centralise the dish on the plate and simply lift it off, revealing that amazing steaming sunburst pattern. And doesn't that look absolutely amazing? Very impressive and so easy to do, guys. Not finished yet. While it's still hot, give it a good brush of your pineapple glaze all over the top of the cake. You can put plenty on and let some of that juice soak into that mouth-watering sponge. And that's it, your pineapple upside down cake is done. And there's lots of ways you can serve it too. You can have it warm or cold with ice cream, whipped cream or vanilla custard, or on its own with a nice cup of tea or coffee. And there you go, a really beautiful cake that will impress your family and friends. Hope you give this one a try. And it really is absolutely delicious. Once again, a big thumbs up for one of our customers' favourite cake recipes. And as mentioned earlier in the video, here is the latest list of my Patreon, PayPal and Super Thank You button supporters. And they are Terence Gatton, Jim Thompson, The Doctor 1225, Darrell Elder 1352, Lavinia Rawlinson and Jens K 3250. Thanks very much guys, I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.